said, of course I'll go with you. But understand that with an attitude like that, there'll be no glory in it for you. God will use a woman's hand to take care of the enemy. So he sold himself short. It's good to see you back, Ryan. Never read this, I think you had you, really, Deborah. He sold himself short because of his attitude. An excellent attitude will bring about excellent results. So attitude, that's first. Secondly, if you're going to have excellence in life's journey, you need to have focus. You need to fix on something. You need to pay attention to the thing that you are doing and don't try and do a whole lot of things at one time. You need to be very focused. Tom Peters is the author of a book titled A Passion for Excellence. Good book for this series, right? It's a 437-page book, and he has devoted an entire chapter to attention and excellence. And here's a quote. He writes, "You've got to pay attention to what's important, and this requires focus." Focus. Jesus taught us so. Matthew 6:24, no man can serve what? Two masters. And see, having two masters, it's two focuses, two foci too. You haven't got just one focus here. You're all over the place. You're not paying attention at all. And it's going to divide your attention so that you take your eye off the ball. So you've got to be focused on this. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about ministry. In this church, we just have 4 core ministries. Just 4. Worship, children, youth, and small groups. That's it. And if it doesn't fit in there, it may be a subsidiary, complementary thing, but we're not going to give it the budget, or the attention. Just not going to do that. Because it would take our eye off the ball that God's calling us to play with. That's not where we're going. God doesn't want us to go there. And so we're not going to go there at all. So we need to stay focused. And when it comes to you, and when you're in ministry, since we showed you the promotional video about volunteers and so on, when you're on a roster for a duty on a Sunday, you won't have to understand about chit-chatting to anyone. Do that next Sunday, when somebody else is on the roster. When you're on the roster, you're going to pay attention to whatever it is you're called to do. If it's the lighting, you're going to do the lighting. No chit-chat. And you're going to do, if you're on sound, you're going to do the sound. If you're on service, you're going to do the service coordinator. You're not going to have time to chit-chat at all because you're paying attention. You're focused to the thing that God's called you to do. Focus also means putting down your roots. If you're a church person, in one church, you can't be flitting from this church to the other church. That's not focus at all. And no one can serve 2 masters. You just can't do that. So Psalm 92 verse 13 says, "Planted in the house of the Lord, they will flourish in the courts of our God." So he's saying, put down deep roots in the one local church. Focus there. Don't miss anything. Just stay focused there. When you're planted, you won't be jumping around from this church to that church. A whole lot of people in any given community, they just float around between this church and that church. And of course, they are there to receive rather than give. They're there to be, not to contribute, they're there to take what they can get from there. And so that's not a focus at all. When you're planting, you won't be jumping all around the joint at all. Otherwise, it's so many different camps. A planted tree does not move. I've not seen one anyway. Maybe you have. If they're moving, it's because someone chopped it down or ripped it out. I've not seen a tree that's moved down the road. They'll get your attention. See, what moves, down by the tree, if it's a pot plant, if it's in a pot, it'll move. My wife brought home a pot plant from Manchester once in the back of the trailer, and she just drove at 100 k's, whatever it is, up the road when he got home. Got no leaves left on that tree. We nursed it back to health. Popped it in the garden, still in the pot. Guess what we want to do? We want to put down roots. We began to do that. We didn't like that, but anyway, we took the tips at the end of that story. Don't be a pot plant. Don't be a pot plant. Don't let Larry get hold if you are a pot plant. Thirdly, excellence and accountability. I don't know. Does anyone want to let me out for lunch today? Without accountability, there will be no excellence. Proverbs 18:1 in the New King James. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. No accountability, no excellence. Judges 21:25. In those days, Israel had no leader, and everyone what? Did what's right in his own eyes. But we know excellence here. Everyone doing his own thing. There's no focus there. No excellence. Excellence in actions flows from excellence in thinking, and excellence in thinking will make itself accountable rather than have an opinionated, isolationist spirit. So get perspective from others. Proverbs 20 verse 18, plans are established by seeking advice, so if you wage war, obtain guidance. Proverbs 24 verse 6, surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through what? Many advisors. So for an excellent result, one, you need accountability, and you need positive people speaking into your life. Fourthly, creativity is a component of excellence. Genesis 1:1, verse 26 and 27, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and then God said, let us make human beings in our image, in our likeness. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. So we are created in the image of the excellent Creator God. That's us. We were created to live and to function with creativity and excellence, because we created his image. And he's got excellence and he's got creativity. Romans 12:11 in the Message, I used this one in a series last month, be inventive in hospitality. See, God can say that to us because he is creative. That's not just about hospitality, it's anything you do. Just that's a good verse. Be inventive in hospitality. Be creative. Romans 16:1, we also speak of hospitality in the Message. Welcome our friend in the way of the Master with all the generous hospitality we Christians are famous for. Be inventive, be generous. In other words, be creative with excellence, whether it's hospitality or whether it's any other kind of activity or endeavor. Creativity, we were made in the image of the creative, excellent God. Fifthly, since we've begun to speak about generosity, generosity is a big slice of excellence. Yeah. So get hold of this one. 2 Corinthians 9:6. Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will what? Also reap sparingly. And whoever sows generously will also reap generously. That's just the way of it. That's just the way. If you only put one seed in, you only get one plant pop up. If you put lots in, you'll get lots. And that's not just talking about planting seeds in your garden. He's talking about finance and generosity. And so he says in 2 Corinthians 8:7, the previous chapter, see that you excel. Excel is doing excellence, that's what that means. See that you excel in this grace of giving. Give with excellence. To be generous in giving is to excel in giving. That is, generosity is excellence. And it is. So watch this. Proverbs 11:24-25. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. You think if I give it away, I've got none. No, God says you give, you get back. You don't give, you won't get back. Another man unholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will also himself be refreshed. Now watch in the Message. Proverbs 11:24. Same verse. The world of the generous gets larger and larger. The world of the stingy gets smaller and smaller. This excellence of generosity will enlarge your world in so many ways. It just will. It will open your world up. It will make it bigger and bigger. Well, the stingy approach will diminish your world smaller and smaller till there's not much left. So go for excellence of generosity.